Right. Can you hear me well?
I hear you.
Okay, perfect. So, I just want to go ahead and I'm not sure how familiar you are with our Legend Spotlights on our site. We do spotlights for our players, our captains, and of course the legends in the NFL Legends community. This format would probably be a Q&A style format, but not to worry, it will be edited, and once it is edited and ready, we'll send you a draft, and whatever you don't like or want to change or edit, we can do that, and then we'll move forward with posting.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. I actually want to start with what was going through your mind when you decided to retire. What was that moment like for you, and kind of just some of physical, mental, emotional state of being during that time.
Well, that time when I was getting ready to retire wasn't on my clock, I guess. I mean, because I think a lot of us players think we'll play forever. And unfortunately, it doesn't really happen, especially when you're just getting ready to turn 37 years old playing linebacker. After 13 and 14 years, I mean, it's one of these things where you don't really think about. But sometimes when you get older and injuries start to happen, it was for me the injury that took me out of the game. I mean, I wanted to keep playing. I mean, heck, at 46 right now, I wish I was still playing. I love the game so much,
Right.
and I love the competition. I love my friends. I love the locker room, and I wish we can keep playing forever. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way.
Right.
Yeah. So, and sometimes, I mean, honestly, like it's not about you as a player
Yeah.
dictating when you want to retire. It's the team, it's the league, it's the game.
Right. So, and I know you just mentioned, it wasn't, ultimately your decision. Your body kind of said, this is it. So did you go through any, sort of depressions or mood swings, or were you just, what, this is, fate. I've done, my due diligence, and it's time to go.
I think I was in denial. I think after playing so long, I was in denial. Like, I'm not done.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I thought I still wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was still working out. I was still lifting like I was
Right.
going to play. And I just sat out my 14th year with the Chiefs because of an injury. And honestly, it was difficult, but I was doing the same exact thing I did in the off season. So for me, it was just like an extended off season,
Right. Okay.
really extended off season. Until my wife was, after about a year and a half, yeah, about a year and a half, 2 years, almost 2 years, saying, "What are you doing?
Right.
Why are you, yeah, why are you working out every day? Yeah, you don't have to take on those big offensive linemen anymore."
Right.
Yeah, and for me it was difficult because I was like, well, this is what I do. I played football for 30 years. This is what I do. This is me. This is my identity. This is my purpose. This is what I do. Yeah, so she brought it to my attention, and I started to look at it like, well, she's right, but I don't know I don't know what's next. What do I do next?
Yeah, and that's a common theme for athletes, especially those who played for so long. You're almost scared of not knowing what's next. So you just mentioned your wife, and I kind of want to get into, your support system. I know you said you kind of didn't realize you were in denial, but did you have a support system, someone or a group of people who were behind you, people that you could turn to for answers or help and things like that?
No, at the time I didn't, because it's not something that you talk to people about.
Mm-hmm.
That you have anxiety and you're scared about what's next. Because of course, like when you're successful at previous jobs, especially like something like football, when you're on the top of the game, and then having that taken away from you, and then looking out over the horizon, thinking, okay, so what's next? And like, it's not something that you go and talk to people about, especially people who weren't there. You know, I mean, it's kind of like something that you keep inside, and the only person that knows you very well is your wife. And she's the one that's going to, like, you know, be honest with you.
Right.
You know, versus enabling you. She's going to be the one that makes you be honest with yourself.
Right. And that's very powerful. And I feel like a lot of the times our players, you know, they're in denial and they don't always have someone to tell them, you know, look, this is it. You don't have to do this anymore. There's other things. There's more, you know, there is life after football. So I do want to move on to your role as an NFL legend. What region are you in? Are you the director?
Yeah, I'm the Pacific West coordinator. Yeah, but I want to touch back on, like, because I think this is important, especially like we were just talking about that transition. You know, it's like you call it whatever you want. At the time, I didn't call it transition. Didn't even know what that was. You know, transition is when you stop at airports. But you know, I mean, honestly, yeah. But no one talked about this, and it's difficult because I remember, like, you know, when I was retiring, it's like, golly, I can't talk to anybody about what's going on with me. And it was hard. And I remember, you know, after my wife called me out, I started doing yoga. And, you know, she's the one that kind of pushed me to do yoga. It's like, you're getting older, your body, it's good for you to, like, you know, strength, balance, and, you know, mobility and things like that. You know, it's good for you after you get done playing. And I was like, you know, I was kind of resistant, but she kind of, like, kept pushing me. And sorry, hold on. Sorry about that. And,
no worries.
And I was saying.
You were speaking about the word transition. You couldn't really talk to anybody, and your wife kept pushing you to do yoga. Yeah, she kept pushing me, and then of course, like, you know, I met a guy that was one of the instructors there, and he was a former military guy, and he got into yoga, and he challenged me. He's like, hey, I think you should do the teacher training. And I was like, I don't want to be a teacher. He's like, no, you can expand your practice. And I was thinking, look, I just want to be the best one in the class. Right.
You know, like that whole competitive spirit, you know. So on a whim, I said, okay, I'll do it. This was 9 years ago. I did, you know, I started doing yoga, and never forget, like the first 2 weeks, we didn't even do yoga at all. What we did is like self-reflection. We had to look at ourselves. Like we had to, like, dissect ourselves and find out who we are and why we are, you know. And that was the first time in my life, you know, that I had to look at myself, because as a football player, the camera's always looking on you. Like, you always have to be on. The cameras are all around you all the time, critiquing you. And this is the first time where I have to turn that camera and look at myself.
Right.
And that was hard. I was scared, but I never did that before. But I'm so happy that whatever it is, I mean, it was yoga for me, but it made me look at myself. It could be anything, but, you know, for me, my example was that it made me look at myself. And it was frightening, because I didn't know. I was scared. You know, I got called out in class, you know, because we went around the room, and here I'm with a bunch of, like, yogis. We went around the room, and I'm, you know, 230 pounds, you know, still lifting weights.
Right.
You know, like I play football, like a linebacker, you know. And we went around the room, and our instructor, Katie Brower, wanted us to go around the room and introduce yourself and tell people, like, you know, who you are. That's like Donnie Edwards, you know, NFL football player. And she's like, no, Donnie, that's what you were. Who are you now?
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. I got to tell you, that right there.
My soul just got crushed.
Yeah. Oh, man. All of a sudden, I started getting warm. I started getting, like, sweaty, like anxiety. I was like, oh, man. And then, because I knew deep down inside, I didn't know. Right. And that was the difficult part, you know. And I felt insecure. And and as ball players, you know, if you're insecure, you get beat. Right. And that's not how we roll as NFL players, you know, especially a linebacker. You know, we don't roll that way. Right. And that was a big wake-up call. And I had to face it, you know, on top of my wife and on top of, like, you know, this yoga teacher training that made me look at myself. Those two things right there, like, really made me, like, push and look at myself to say, you know what, in order for me to go forward, I have to understand where I am right now and be okay with it and solidify that foundation first before I leap off into the next thing that I'm going to do. Because what happens is, like, if you don't pause and look back and understand, like, you know, your past is your past, and your future is going to be determined on if you're able to, you know, to give yourself a solid foundation to walk off. Because what happens is, like, we just walk off without, like, taking the time to pause and reflect and understand. You know, I think that's so important, and I'm so happy that I did that. And it was a whim. I didn't know. I didn't look at it like, hey, I'm doing this. No, I didn't know. It just happened, and I'm so happy that, you know, that it happened. Like, you know,
the way it did.
A year and a half after I retired. Yeah, because less than a year and a half, you know, after I retired. Because who knows? I'll still be in the same situation I am now if I didn't look at myself.
Right.
I'll probably still be 9 years later. I'm probably still lifting weights and still running.
Right.
You know, thinking that I'm gonna be a part of a team and kind of like banking on my identity as an NFL player, which I'm not anymore.
Right.
I used to be.
Exactly.
And that's the important thing. And I mean, and also, you know, Junior Seau was a guy that I was close with. He lived here in San Diego, and as you know, losing him was very difficult, very hard for, you know, our NFL family, and also, you know, for his friends and teammates, you know. But on a personal level, like, I was, before he passed, I was telling him about you know, my progress with yoga and how it's good and how it's, like, helping me, like, you know, transition.
Right.
You know, and I invited him to come out with me to go do yoga, but we never got that opportunity because, you know, he was, you know, going through it, you know, himself.
Right.
And then after I was telling my wife, like, God dang it, I said, you know, I wish we had some type of program that we can have some type of, like, connection, some type of brotherhood, you know, you know, some type of, like, you know, some programs where we can, you know, be able to discuss and talk about these things that we're going through.
Right.
You know, because, and all of a sudden I got a call from, and asked if I wanted, you know, we just started a transition program because of the CBA, you know, the trust and the players, the trust and the Legends community, and I got asked if I wanted to be you know, part of this new transition program, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is so crazy that I just got this call, because it was exactly what I was talking about with Junior, and I said, you know, I was in the midst of going through this. This is back in 2013,
right?
You know, and you know, I became a trust captain, you know, for a couple of years, and that was like, I was so proud, you know, to be a part of this, because I was going through it. It was like fresh for me. I was right in the midst of it.
Right.
I was understanding and the importance of it, of what it all is, and, you know, trying to come up and brainstorm ideas and how we can, like, make it better.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, me and Charlie Batts and some of the guys there, like, we're on the beginning stages of trying to, like, you know, best practices and, like, what works and what doesn't work. I mean, I was calling hundreds of guys just, you know, at the time, and just, you know, cold-calling guys, like, hey, checking in, like, hey, man, you know, this is the trust, and this is our transition program. We have some benefits, we have some services available, brain and body, like, all this stuff. And at the time, like, yeah, we can say that now, like, looking back 6-7 years later, say, oh, yeah, I know the trust, I know the, like, Legends community. But at the time, you got to understand, this was unprecedented. We didn't have this before.
Right.
And when you call guys, you know, everybody was, like, skeptical, like, wait, who's this? Who are you working for? You know, this is for you. I'm like, no. It's not for me. This is for you. This is for you.
Right.
You've already paid your dues.
Exactly.
These are benefits that you've earned. You know, and it was very difficult because it was challenging because, you know, obviously, you know, everybody was a little skeptical, but now everybody's understanding that, you know, that we are doing this now, and it's just great that the growth that we've had.
Right.
All these years, I'm really, really happy to be an opportunity for myself to be on, you know, both of our transition programs. Yeah. You know, with that knowledge and giving back, it's just been wonderful. Because I've done it. I did it. I went through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think across the board with the Legends community and the trust being partners, I feel like now players know, you know, as soon as, well, whenever your football journey ends, there are resources. And if you haven't heard of the trust,
now
you've heard
do.
of now they do.
Yeah, now they do.
Mm-hmm.
Now they do. But think about when what was the group we started with? Yeah, we had our list and just cold calling guys, let them know.
2013
come down.
Yep.
Yeah, hey, come down to our trust event.
Yeah.
What? Trust who?
Right.
Well, so let me explain to you what's going on.
Right. Exactly.
That's how it started. I mean, so I understand the work that we put involved. I mean, we all put a lot of work in to get it to the point that we are now. And, just like everything, it's like my foundation right now, Best Defense. I mean, you got to put a lot of work into it at the beginning to get it going and to get it working. And now it's easy to say, oh, yeah, everybody knows what the trust and what the Legends community are all about now. They know that. But you got to push back 7 years and see where we started.
Exactly.
6 years.
Exactly. So let's go ahead to get right into the NFL Legends community and your role. And you said you're the Pacific West coordinator?
Pacific West. Mm-hmm.
So, yes, tell me about your role and kind of what you all do to support our players.
Yeah. Hold on one quick second.
Sure, absolutely.
Hey, look. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, I had to go pee-pee-leepy. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, so what was the question again?
Just about your role as the coordinator for the Pacific West region, kind of what you do, why you decided to get involved with the Legends community, and things like that.
Yeah, well, I decided to get a part of the Legends community. It's just another way that we can connect, embrace, and celebrate our players for their careers. I mean, like I just explained to you before about our whole transition deal, I mean, I just know that this is another, way that we can bring more guys together, bring more guys in the fold to help each other out. I mean, because, knowledge is power. Knowing about what programs and services and benefits are available to the players is so important. So my role is to make sure that I get out there and help guys, get connected back with their teams, back to the league, and back with their brothers. That's what it's about. I mean, this is the community, the trust, the players, Legends community. It's all about bringing the guys together and making sure that, that we look out for each other. And I think we're doing a heck of a job. And part of what I do as well is connect with the teams. So I have a couple of teams here, the Rams and the Chargers, and making sure that we, do events and bring guys together, bring them back in the fold. Because, as you know, when you leave the team, because most of us get cut, we don't leave on our own merits, we get cut. So we have a little bit of like animosity towards our old team, like a lot of us do, because like I said, like contract issues or whatever. It's like, man, I'm not going back over there.
Right.
But it's not about that. You got to be able to put that aside and move on. It's like, you know what? I'm going because I'm going to connect with my brothers. Like some of the, here, like at the Chargers, we have sometimes 80 legends, coming back for the Legends weekend.
Yeah.
And it's great because you see guys from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, and seeing some of your brothers that you played with that you haven't seen in a long time. It's like, wait, you live in San? Oh, you live right? Oh, man. Okay, let's link up.
Right.
And that's what it's about.
And
that's
building
what it's about.
and keeping that
bringing
community.
our guys back together.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what?
I said it's about building and maintaining that relationship within the community.
Yeah, it's like the locker room. It's like the locker room outside the locker room.
Yeah. And
you want to try to recreate that, however you can.
Right.
Because that's when things, because we have a lot of questions, and a lot of times those answers were given in the locker room. So now we have questions. It's kind of difficult now to find, like, you're not in the locker room. You're not with your brothers anymore. So if you have a question about football that your wife or your friends don't understand, what do you talk to?
Right. Right.
And just in terms of like our services.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just in terms of someone like, our services, like we're going to have like a free health scanning, at the end of the month, and guys are asking, hey, did you do this? Oh, yeah, I did. It was great. Oh, yeah, it's good, man. It's free. And like, you almost like, endorse it a little bit because you've already gone through it. And it's good. It's helpful because some guys, you understand players, a lot of them are skeptical. They're like, I'm not sure about that. But then when you say, no, it's good, it's free, you've already earned it, it's not going to cost you anything, and it's so worth it to get yourself checked out.
Right.
Really? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, cool, I'll do it, Donnie,
Right.
And that's special because a lot of times, like, by helping guys like that, you find out if there's something that you need to, put in check.
Right.
And otherwise, they would have never looked at it. They looked at it before. So something like you're saving guys' lives and like helping them, it's like there's support, and we're here. And I'm so happy that I'm on the front end of really helping, servicing, and helping our guys.
What's the process for our guys to get involved with the Legends community?
Well, the process is to get signed up. First of all, you got to go on the website, get signed up. You put in your name, address, and the teams you played for, and then you'll get a response back, and then you'll get access to the website. And the website is pretty comprehensive. Everything's there. So all the different events that are coming out, all the different programs or services available, and all the stuff with the trust is on there as well. And it's a good hub of information. And information is knowledge. Like I tell the guys, like, hey, you need information about about the team we're going to face. It's the same thing. You got to study. You got to study as well. First of all, you got to know the information, know what they do. And the same thing with this. You got to know what we offer, and then you got to study to see what best fits you. And you got to do it. No one's going to make you do it, but you have to do it. You have to do it.
Right.
And we can only lead you so far. You have to take the initiative to want to do it. And
and one of the other things I think too, do you kind of serve as a liaison for the Legends or the former players that are in, the California region? Is that kind of what your role is? How often are you reaching out to players, or are you at events like promoting, like you said, the screenings and things like that?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
All of that. So we have different, so just tonight, there's an event here in San Diego where there's going to be a number of it's not even Charger players really. It's really like, former players that live in this region here. It's like you live in Southern California, you live in Atlanta, there's players, ball players that, doesn't matter what team you played on, really. It's guys getting together.
Right.
And I reach out to players every week. Just calling them. I think I still, I think it's like, I don't know, 20 players, just, getting guys that are not signed up, letting them know about, what they've earned and what they have access to, which is great. And then I'm seeing players here. So, like, today there's probably going to be about, I don't know, 25 players here.
That's a nice handful.
Yeah, so it's great. So guys that I know that are not signed up and not, taking advantage of what we have to offer, let them know, like, hey, man, let's get moving, let's get signed up, and let's connect. What's your number, and just make it a connection. Hey, the Chargers are having their Legends weekend at the end of the month. Are you going? Oh, all right. Well, are you gonna go? Okay, I'll go if you go. That kind of deal. It's just all about the outreach.
Right. And I think players, they feel more comfortable. Like you said, a lot of times they're skeptical. They feel more comfortable going with another former player, someone they're in their position, or someone that is familiar with, the Legends or the Trust or whoever, maybe. So I do want to ask you as well, what do you enjoy most about being an NFL legend? Is it the community, the camaraderie, just being able to reach out to guys and connect, build that locker room field? What is your favorite part?
To be a Legends coordinator or just a legend?
Both.
Well, I think, first of all, being a Legends coordinator, like being on the front end of, information and like letting guys know like all the new stuff that we have, engaging guys. I mean, I'm a pretty outgoing guy, and just calling guys, connecting with guys, and it's important for me. I mean, it helps me as I'm helping, the guys as well. So it's mutual, really, because like, for me, I run into a guy, I start talking to him, like, sometimes I call a guy, like, man, you're the first NFL player I've talked to in 5 years.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden they start talking. They haven't, like, man, he's like, I haven't talked like this in a while, because they're being, honest and open.
Right.
And finally getting a call from a guy, and all of a sudden start talking to me about things, and I'm like, well, look, we have this program and that program, we can help you. Let me put you together with, with this and get the brain and body, whatever. Going back to school, scholarship, like all this stuff.
Right.
Like, and we have that. How much does it cost? I'm like, it doesn't cost anything. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow. And then they get connected, things start rolling, and they're feeling good, family's feeling good, and it's like, I love that call. It's like, hey, bro, appreciate it, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Good looking out. Yeah.
Yeah. And that right there, I'm telling you, that right there is like, boom. And now we have another, advocate of the program who's gone through it, who was there. It's like, yo, talk to Adrian. Adrian, not for me, talk to Adrian too. And so
right.
Like, oh yeah, yeah. So that's how it goes. It's great, And I just love being on that forefront of it too. To speak it because I know it, and to be able to articulate it to our brothers. And
you experienced it, It's not just, a NFL Legends handbook. And no, like, this is something that you've lived through. Right. And then what does your post-NFL career consist of outside of being a part of the Legends community? So what else are you?
Well, I run a nonprofit.
Okay.
So there's two things that I do. I run a nonprofit. Right now what I do is obviously the Legends community, which has been, part of my life. I mean, this is what I do every day, just, connecting with guys and always finding out about more stuff, and just, it's part of me, and I know that it's beneficial and it's helpful, because I don't want, anyone to go through with, what I went through and what, about losing a brother, someone close to me that I knew that I can definitely help, you know what I mean? And that gives me so much energy, so much drive to continue to give back and to do what I do, because I was right there, and I don't want, Junior's death to be in vain. I mean, I want to make sure that we do something with it, and and that's my drive and motivation, because I was there and I lost that. So, I absolutely, love it and believe in it. And, for me, it's like a daily thing for me. But also, what takes up a lot of time, what I do that gives me purpose is my nonprofit called Best Defense Foundation. And Best Defense is a military-based foundation that honors and recognizes our military veterans. For me, being born and raised in San Diego, is a big military town, and all my family served in the military, has given me the understanding that freedom is not free, and we need to recognize our our military veterans for their service and sacrifice to this country. Because more importantly, we wouldn't be playing this game of football if it wasn't for the guys that give us this opportunity, to live in this peaceful, in this freedom and stuff like that. So, for me, I've done over 9 USO tours. I've been to Afghanistan. I've been to, as a matter of fact, I just went to Okinawa this year to watch the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Me and Steven Jackson just watched the Super Bowl in Okinawa with our Marines there on base. And I've also did another tour to Niger, Africa in March, meaning going out to meet our veterans out there. It's been wonderful. I'm getting ready to go. So one of our programs that we do with the Best Defense Foundation, how we honor them, is a Battlefield Returns program. So I've been taking World War II veterans back to their battlefields, back to where they fought and served for 14 years.
Wow.
For 14 years, I've been taking them back. Yeah, I just completed a program where NFL Films was with us in June for the 75th anniversary of D-Day.
Wow.
And we took 16 World War II veterans back, and one was a nurse, Leela Morrison. She was a nurse. So it was wonderful experience, memorable, and one for the history books for sure.
Wow.
And then next week on Monday, I'm taking 9 World War II veterans to Holland for the 75th anniversary of Operation Market Garden and the liberation of the Netherlands.
Wow.
So I'm the executive director, founder. So I run and organize everything. I've been doing it for 14 years. A lot of things that people don't know about me, but I'm really like a history nerd. I love World War II history. Yeah. So I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, this year we did Iwo Jima in March. This past March we did Iwo Jima, Saipan, Tinian, and Guam in the Pacific, taking veterans back to the top of Mount Suribachi and also to the islands that they fought in Saipan and Tinian in Guam as well. Wow. So that was pretty special.
That's a very
it's been awesome. It's been great. It takes a lot of time, but it's a great way to give back and to serve. So after the game of football, it's all about service for me, to give back and to make a difference in this world, and that's what I'm trying to do. With our Legends community, and our former players, and also with our World War II veterans and also our military. Because we also have a program called Operation Archive, and that's how we tell the stories of the service and sacrifice and the deeds of our military veterans. We try to preserve the stories in perpetuity for our next generation. Mm-hmm. And we also do a bunch of programs with kids, our school initiatives about teaching history and connecting them with our veterans in their schools. And also we also are doing a transition program for our special forces as well.
Wow,
so there's definitely a need. There's definitely a need, and there's something that is very similar to what we've gone through as NFL players. So we're connecting some NFL players with our special forces guys, to help each other out with transition. The same thing that I've gone through.
Similar. It's very similar.
When you take that uniform off, it's like imagine this. Imagine you're a Navy SEAL for 10 years, and you're an officer, and everybody salute you, everywhere you go, and then all of a sudden you take that uniform off, and then you start to look at yourself like,
who am I?
Well, I used to be. I used to be this guy. I used to get saluted. I used to be the man, and now I'm at home taking out the trash.
Right.
My wife's, I can't get off the sofa. My wife's like, why don't you do something?
Right.
And you think to yourself, do you know what I've done? I've done that, but that's what you did. It's not what you're doing, and that's the difference. So I'm bringing what I've learned from the community and the transition program that we've been doing with the NFL. I'm trying to help out on a different area with our military. So and for me, I'm all about service and about giving back. And with the Best Defense Foundation, we can do all this stuff.
Right. That is very neat.
As long as we have funding, we can do it.
I hear that.
If not, it's all in theory.
Yeah, but it seems like you're doing amazing work.
Yeah, no, it's great. I feel really good about it. I mean, I know it's a lot of work, but it's wonderful. And we're all volunteers. No one's getting paid. Right. 100% of what we raise goes right back out to our military veterans. Like, for example, we only had budget for 8 veterans to go to Normandy.
Yeah.
8 veterans to go to Normandy. Yep. And then we ended up taking 16.
Wow.
Because
that is incredible.
I can't say no. I got a big heart. I can't say no. So we had a rally. We had a rally and raise some funds so that we can fulfill the wishes and dreams of our World War II veterans that wanted to go back to the D-Day deal. Wow. And we made it happen. We did it. We had an NFL player, one of my former teammates, step up and made it happen. Wow. He stepped up, made a donation. So we were able to bring, the veterans back.
That's incredible.
Yeah, big time. So
yeah. Well, congratulations.
It's great when you have that brotherhood that believes in what you do. Sorry?
Congratulations. That is wonderful.
Yeah, it's cool. If you look at it, go to Best Defense Foundation. Just put Best Defense Foundation. Google. I don't know if you're in front of a computer.
Yeah, I am. I can pull it up now.
There's incredible. We have a website, but it's incredible. If you go to YouTube and put in Best Defense Foundation, or here, is this your cell phone or is this a?
Oh no, I'm in front of a computer. I got it. I'm on your site now.
Okay, cool. You got it. Yeah, there's a cool video of Normandy. That we just released. It's about 6 minutes long. So when you get off the call, just do me a favor and just watch it. Yeah, it's 6 minutes long. I think it's called 48 of my comrades
are buried there.
Here. Yeah. So that's that guy's name is Pete Shaw, and Pete Shaw lives in Canton, Ohio, where the Hall of Fame is.
Was just west.
Yeah, and he lives in Canton, Ohio. So we're actually going to be out there in November for an event there. But yeah, so watch that video when you get a chance, and make sure you turn the speakers on because there's some music that goes with it too, and that kind of sums up what I've been doing for 14 years. And it's interesting too because Tracy Perlman is like, why don't you tell us what you do? It's like I've never been the type of guy that that put it out there. I just put my head down and did my job.
Right.
I just that's the way that I am. I just do it. But I understand that people also want to be a part of it too, and you can do more when you get the support of the community. So that's why we created the Best Defense Foundation to continue to do this and to put it out there to garner some support, so we can do this more for other veterans.
Right.
And do more for the kids, more for the schools, and more for our special forces, like all of that.
Wow, very neat. And then lastly, Donnie, I have to ask, if you were in that yoga class today, how would you answer that question, or how would you introduce yourself?
Say that again, if I was in that class?
If you were in that yoga class today, how would you introduce yourself?
Ooh, good question. Good question. Good question. I would say my name is Donnie Edwards, and I'm a philanthropist.
Wow.
I love to give back. I love to serve, and I've been so blessed with so much in this country, and now I live a life of service.
Wow.
Grateful for what I have, and grateful for what I'm going to do.
That is beautiful. Love it. I love it. Great. If you want to add anything, those were all my questions, and I really appreciate you doing this with me. If you have any more questions or want to add anything, please feel free. One thing I do want to do, I'm going to run through your website and tell all my friends about it because it seems like such an incredible mission. I might include, if that's okay with you, one of the videos from the Best Defense YouTube underneath that question. If you're okay with that.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, we want to put it out there. I think we have over 1 million views.
Yeah,
so far.
I'm looking at it now. This is incredible. This is incredible. And I can embed a video link into your story, which I think is something that would add, to the creative side. Also, I do have some standard pictures of you on Getty. But if you can send me some pictures of you, whether playing football, working with the Legends, or even some of the work you do with Best Defense Foundation, the more the merrier. I'll probably only use about 6, but please feel free to send more, just because sizing and stuff like that. Even if you go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I know we have a bunch of pictures on Facebook or Instagram that. I guess you can just right click. That's from the foundation work that we do.
Okay.
From the Legends, I have pictures as well that I'll send you that. I don't know if it's if it's on the web. But I will absolutely love if you put that
video.
link
I will
to
definitely do. I'm gonna watch a couple of them, but you can tell me which one you want to put in there. Because I obviously
I'll tell you right now, the Normandy one, because that's the most recent. That's the 75th, the 75th anniversary of D-Day is essentially, that's the Super Bowls of all Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I mean, there's millions of
I will
people there.
definitely add that one.
Yeah, that one's just recent too. Like I think we just released like a month ago.
Yeah, June.
48 comp.
Yep.
Yeah. Then the other one is like NFL player lays in a foxhole. See that one?
No.
Maybe on YouTube. We have probably like 30 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or 20 videos on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So the Best Defense Foundation on YouTube. Look, I think it's called.
I see this one. Why We Do What We Do. Found an NFL legend, Donnie Edwards. I think I'm gonna steal that one too.
Oh, that one's cool.
Yeah.
That's only like a minute long. That one's cool.
Yeah. This is great.
Why we do what we do. But yeah, it's actually. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. It's like It's really special. People's like, oh my god, I never knew you did this.
Right. Right.
So let me see what this one's called. So this one's okay.
I'm not seeing the one you just mentioned, the NFL player.
It's it's World War II veteran lies down in foxhole with NFL player. Okay. Heroes return to Holland. That was last year's video.
Oh,
this is where I'm going next week to Holland. Yeah, so this is where I'm going to Holland next week, and it's really cool. We include the kids. I mean, you'll get a feel of it when you see it. That was pretty good.
I'm literally gonna watch them after we hang up.
Cool. Yeah, watch them and call me back. Or just text me back. I was just curious and like.
Okay. I'll definitely let you know what I think.
Yeah, cool. If you can share it with your friends and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
It's special.
Yeah, and
it's special. The oldest guy we're taking. The oldest guy we're taking back. His name is Francis Turner. He's 100 years old. He's 100 years old in 4 months, and he still plays golf twice a week. He drives himself. He's articulate. I mean, it's crazy. Like people will always say oh my God, there's World War II veterans still alive. I said, some of these World War II veterans you wouldn't even know. You think they're 65 years old.
Right.
Seriously.
That is incredible. Well, again, Donnie, I'm so honored that you were able to sit down with me, and I'm so glad that you mentioned your nonprofit. I definitely will mention it in your story. Number one, it's a part of who you are, and it's been a part of who you are for 14 years. I will try to have this up by next week. We post on Thursdays, but it has to go through a series of edits or editors. So we will see. But again, as soon as you can get me those pictures, that would be fabulous. I'll work on putting the story together, and I look forward to the outcome.
Okay, cool. Sounds great.
Awesome.
And I'm super excited. Like I said, we're leaving we're doing a matter of fact, we're doing a big send-off. We always do our send-off in Washington. Are you in D.C.?
Yeah, we're in D.C.
Yeah, we do our send-off. We always fly through Dulles. So on September 10th, we do a big send-off at Dulles Airport. Yeah, we're going to have all 9 of our World War II veterans. Yeah, we always go through Dulles. So, think about, everybody knows about the honor flight, but think about honor flight well, I don't want to say honor flight on steroids, but honor flight with some, whatever. But, it's not just going to D.C. We go to D.C. too, but we go back to the foxholes.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Yeah, wait till you see you're going to.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the videos and I'll text you. All right. Thanks so much, Donnie.
All right. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.